Hi guys, welcome back. Um, I had mentioned in a previous video that I want to try some new things with my channel this year. So I'm going to go ahead and do uh, um, ranking the American Girl dolls that we do not have in the order I would like to receive them, although going backwards. So I'll start at number 6 because there's only 6 of between the historical and the Girl of the Year dolls that we are currently missing. And I am going to start out by um, doing like a countdown with them, or kind of a countdown, but ranking how I would put them from least important to most important. So let's jump right into this. So at number 6, I have Haley Hop Kaylee Hopkins. Kylie. I've heard it both name ways. To me, it looks like Kaylee, but I have heard people call her Kylie. Um, she is one of the Girl of the Years that we are missing, and honestly, the reason why she's ranked number 6 is because she's not really a memorable Girl of the Year for me. I she's just one that I don't think about all that much. She's I know she has blonde hair. I believe she has brown eyes. I mean, that's how much I don't know about her. I really, a lot of times, like, I'll be sitting there like, okay, we're missing 6. What's the 6th one? It's because she's just that forgettable, and she just really hasn't been a priority for me to get. Another thing is the issues that people have with Kylie is the ones turning orange. Now, she is supposed to be like a beach girl. Personally, I've not read her story. Yes, we have the book, but I have not read her story. Um, but to me, honestly, like the orange kind of looks like she could have gotten tan. So even if I end up getting an orange Kaylee, that is not going to bother me all that much. I know a lot of people, they sent them in when American Girl did free changes because the vinyl turned orange. To me, that wouldn't bother me. I've seen some pretty orange Kylie's, and it just, to me, it looks like she's tan. Um, so that is my number 6 spot. And coming in at number 5, I've got Nikki Fleming. Nikki is a pretty girl, but once again, she's kind of a little doll to me. She's a white doll with blue eyes, light skin, and like a brownish blonde hair, curly. Um, Once again, yes, I haven't read the stories, but I just, she's into horses, and I'm not really a horse girl. Um, Never really have been. And so the story never really appealed to me. I believe she's training a service dog. That might be the only part that really kind of appeals to me, but not enough for me to like rush out and need to get her. Like, I know we do need to get Nikki. Um, she's one, like, when I'm doing the, okay, we're missing 6, which are they? I always remember that we are missing Nikki, but she's just not a huge priority to me. And so that is why I put her in the number 5 position, and partially why she is over Kylie is because, like I said, I always forget that Kylie is one more missing. I literally sometimes forget she is actually a Girl of the Year. So we are going to go into number 4, which is Raquel Reyes. I know people are probably going to come for me with that one. Um, it's more so I put her there because, like, my number 1 doll is actually my unicorn, so some of you might know who that is. Um, Number 3 is my favorite mold, so you might know who that is. And number 2 has always appealed to me, and it's just I've never been, I'll get into that later with her. But Raquel got put into number 4 just because she's not as much of a like, if I knew she was going to stick around for a few years and I had the ability to get one of my top three, I will get one of my top three over Raquel. Although Raquel probably will be coming to live to this house, in this house, before the other three. And that's primarily Raquel. My daughter wants Raquel, so that's fine with me. I do think she's cute. I love that she's Hispanic heritage. I love that they're tying Samantha in as a great great grandmother, I believe, is what they have her as. Um, it's either great grandmother or great great. I honestly don't remember which one. But I mean, I like that they're tying Samantha in, especially with the 40th anniversary. And I do know of the original three dolls that Samantha was the most popular. For me, I was always a Molly girly. Molly was my first doll. Personally, growing up, I did think Samantha was stuck up, but I do think Raquel is a beautiful doll. I do love her dark hair and her um, brown eyes. She is a beautiful doll. Somebody had to be in the fourth place, and my top three are definitely more of a priority than her. So that is why Miss Raquel Reyes is in the number 4 position. Coming in at number 3 is Miss Cecile Ray. Some people might be utterly shocked that she isn't in the number 1 or number 2 because, as I just mentioned, that Cecile is my favorite mold. My absolute favorite mold is the Sonali mold. I have multiple of her. When I did my mini me, well, my first actual create your own that I made it as a Sonali mold, and I absolutely adore it. I love her. Beautiful doll. Sonali is a beautiful mold. I'm in love with the Sonali mold. I love Cecile. I always wanted Cecile when she was available on American Girl. I just was never able to get her. And honestly, at the point when Cecile was available, my priority was just getting one of each mold between me, my two kids. And at that point, I had a number 47, which was a Sonali mold. So Cecile wasn't a priority for me to get. Now I utterly, utterly, utterly regret it. A friend of mine back in Minot actually had a Cecile for her daughter. And when her daughter outgrew American Girl, she decided to keep two of her dolls, and Cecile was one of them that she decided to get rid of. My friend offered it to me at a fantastic price, and I kick my own butt every day for not getting Cecile. Um, she's a beautiful doll. I love that. So Sonali is usually used as like a Middle Eastern or a East Indian or an African American doll, like in Cecile's case, and she is a beautiful mold for that. But usually they use the dark brown eyes or the light brown eyes. She has some sort of variation of brown eyes, but with Miss Cecile, she has the hazily gray eyes, which makes her completely unique. Absolutely love it. I love her pin curls. She is just a stunning doll. I honestly think part of the reason why I wasn't drawn to her over like 47 was, first of all, I got 47. I was able to purchase her from somebody that bought her at the benefit sale all those years ago. And Cecile's meat dress, I'm not into like that parachutey material that Cecile and Marie Grace's dresses were made out of, unfortunately. And like I say, I regret not getting her when I had the ability to get her at a fantastic price. But she is a dream doll. I would not be mad at all if American Girl re-released her for the anniversary. I will be the first one in line to purchase her if that happens, but that's just wishful thinking. So that is why the number 3 spot goes to Cecile. we're going to hop into number 2. And the number 2 spot might actually surprise quite a few people, especially kind of after my opinion of number 1 and or not number 1, number 6 and number 5. But my number 2 spot is Maya St. Clair. That doll is just stunning. And I say this, and it sounds weird. So as I mentioned, I got a Sonali mold of my mini me, and she was the first one that I made, and I actually had made and ordered her. And then I went to the consignment sale, and somebody had create your own doll there at a superb price, and my husband told me to get her. And I got her, I fell in love with her, and I showed her to Heather, and Heather's response was, why would somebody make a create your own that is literally just a copycat of Maya? And I looked at her like I cannot unsee that in my that create your own in Holly, but I am in love with Holly in the same sense that the eye, the hair color, like everything, like she is stunning. I absolutely adore that doll, but I do want a Maya that is not a create your own, if that makes sense. And honestly, my son has expressed interest himself into getting Maya. So honestly, I'm kind of toying with the idea of getting a Maya and giving it to him for either his birthday or Christmas this year. I do have Maya's complete meat as well, so I potentially could put it on Holly, but Holly is a create your own, and I want to leave her as a create your own. I think she's stunning. She's a stunning doll. That is why I put Maya in there. I do like the hockey element being from up north. While I personally did not play hockey because my mom thought it was a too dangerous of sport, I do love when watching the game and like that whole aspect. I do love that. For the girl of the year, aside from gymnastics, I think hockey was the only sport any of the girl of the years have played that isn't gymnastics. And I love that aspect. It's like, I wish they would come out with some more sports girls that aren't gymnastics or cheer, because that's been, or cheer slash dance, which has been another thing that American Girl, they seem to be recycling themes, and I wish they would come out with another sports themed doll, whether it be hot. I mean, recycling, hockey again. There's basketball. Girls wrestling is really taking off. I know quite a few friends of mine that have younger girls that are in like upper elementary school all the way up to high school that are wrestling now. That would be a good one, but I wish they would come out with another girl of the year that is sport themed, because it feels like they just keep recycling. I feel like the horse theme, because we've had Nikki, we've had Sage, and then we had Lila. All of them were horses. We've had gymnastics 2 or 3 times. We've had dance 2 or 3 times, even though we had different types of dance. It just it feels like we're recycling the same themes when it comes to like competitive or sports like things, but there is a vast majority of sports out there, so I loved that in her theme. But I just think Maya is stunning with her eye and hair combination. I'm a sucker for redheads. Anyways, and she's just a very stunning doll, especially when you compare it to like my Truly Me doll. I'm going to probably be in love with her. And so that is why she is in my number 2. I honestly have been looking at on eBay trying to snag one at a good deal for my son, just because I'm in love with her. So that is why Maya is in my number 2 spot. And coming in at number 1, my unicorn, that is going to probably be no surprise to anybody who has watched any of my videos, but Sonali Matthews. She is my number 1 doll. I cannot get enough of her. I regret not purchasing her when I had the chance. So Those that follow Crystal's channel, you may know that the first American Girl doll Crystal got was her Julie doll back in 2009. Now, that is when she was with me. She had come up to visit or come down to visit. My husband and I had just purchased our first house. She came to visit, and we took a day trip to Minneapolis to go to IKEA and the Mall of America, and also to meet up with Cynthia for supper that night. Cynthia unfortunately could not join us at the Mall of America or at IKEA because she had to work. But when we were at the Mall of America, I wanted to go to the American Girl store because one had just opened, and I had always wanted to go to one after the Chicago one opened. And while we were there, I was able to see Carissa, I was able to see Gwen, I was able to see Sonali, and I thought Sonali was a beautiful doll. She was a stunning doll in person. I didn't say anything to my husband or Crystal, but I was so tempted to pick her up. But at that point, I was more focusing on my neonates and real cares. And like I said, I wanted to go to the American Girl store because that was a dream to go to the Chicago one as a child, and I had the opportunity. While we were there, I picked up an outfit for Molly. I picked up an outfit for Emily because those were the only two American Girl dolls I had at that time, as well as Crystal and I both picked up some American Girl Mall of America shirts that matched, and then I got some pants or some capris and shoes for Molly and Emily. And that was all I got. Like I said, we had just purchased a house. We were trying to get furniture for the house. We were trying to decorate the house. We were painting the house. So there was lots of stuff going on in the house that was kind of eating into different expenses. So it was just one of those things that, you know what, I have Molly, I have Emily. That is all I need. And I going there kind of rekindled my love for American Girl, but it wasn't until I had my daughter and finding out that Lainey was a Girl of the Year in 2010, and I found Lainey for my daughter, that my love of American Girl got rekindled. Like the flame just went poof, and it has been nonstop since. I went from in 2009, those two dolls, to in 2012, no, 2013 was when we got my daughter her first doll, and subsequently my son his first doll. And then my friend had decided to sell her childhood collection because her daughter did not care for American Girl dolls at all. And I purchased pretty much her whole childhood collection, which I do have most of it still to this day. And I was able to get some of her personal dolls in this lot, and it's just been a snowball effect since then. But I do regret not saying something to my husband about wanting Sonali back then. You know, hindsight is 2020. And now my unicorn, which would have cost me, I think they were like around $100. They might have been like $95 back then. Um, Maybe they were between 95 and 110. They were somewhere in that price range. And now for a complete meat Sonali, you're looking at $350. I am holding out that one day I will find my perfect Sonali, and I will find her meat, or she will come in her meat. I just, she is my holy grail of a doll. I know she's not like super, super hard to find, but she's expensive. I honestly, my opinion is Sonali's a lot like Truly Me #4, where it's not that they're hard to find, it's just they're not cheap. Not like some of the other early versions of Truly Me dolls. Like I think there's like 19.1 And there's another one that there's like two different versions of them, and one is like super, super hard to find, where the other one is like super common. It's not like that. I think Sonali is an easier doll to find, but it's just because she's so sought after her price. So I do want to eventually save up the money and pull the trigger. I think at this point, there's just like I've said in a previous video, there's only two dolls, possibly three dolls that are on my current wish list from American Girl, for brand new, and that they're not like huge priorities for me. And I think it's just like pulling the trigger and coughing up the money and paying for her. Like in the past, it's like, oh, what I could pay for a Sonali, I probably could get a Haley, Nikki, and why do I keep wanting to call her Haley? Kaylee, Nikki, and Maya. I can buy $3 for less than what Sonali would be. So I think I just am gonna have to pull the trigger at some point and fork up the money and get my Sonali, unless I just stumble upon one of those lucky deals on Facebook Marketplace. So those that know me know that there is no surprise in that number one spot. Um, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's different than my usual format. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, in one of my videos, the tag video for the year, I had mentioned, I kind of want to work on my editing skills better, and I want to kind of work on my channel more with different types of videos, different formats of videos, not just me in front of a camera, as well as I wanted to do this as a slideshow. That way, I know I've seen some people talk about like, oh, I want this doll, this is my dream doll. But then, people that are new to the community don't necessarily know who that doll is or what that doll looks like. So I wanted to show my viewers what each doll looked like. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next week. Bye.